What is up, guys? We're back with another build video. Today we're going to be building a kitchen knife for my mom for her birthday. I cheated a little bit. I went ahead and forged this out. This is a Damascus petty knife. I forged it from an end cut of Damascus I had laying around, so I have no idea what this pattern is going to look like. So stick around and find out. It'll be a surprise for you, just like it will be for me. But we're gonna be grinding this, heat treating it, putting a handle on it, and then maybe we'll give it to her, see what she thinks. What's up, guys? I'm sorry it's been so long. I've been busy in the shop making knives that I haven't necessarily been able to record for the YouTube. So if you want to see the stuff that I make, you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok, both just Stouts Forge. I look forward to seeing you there. But today, we're getting started on this knife for my mom. It's going to be a kitchen knife. It's going to be a little bit smaller than a full-size chef, but maybe a little bit bigger than what people usually think of when they think of a petty knife. I think it'll be a good size for her. It's a similar size to her favorite knife that she has in the kitchen already. So we're just rough grinding right now. This is straight off of the forge. We haven't done anything to it yet. No thermocycling, no heat treat, so it's still soft, which means it's easy to grind, relatively speaking. My goal here is to do about 60-70% of the grinding before the heat treat. That way it's a little bit easier on the belts. I don't have to worry about overheating it, but I'm not grinding it so thin that it's going to be super prone to warping and cracking when we actually go through the heat treat. You might have noticed I'm wearing shorts in this video, and that's because we recorded the beginning of this back when it was still warm out. Now it's late November and it's freezing, and I'm bundling up in the shop, so actually editing this has me kind of sad because I wish it was still warm. Once we've got it to a place we're happy on the rough grind, it's time to take it to the forge for normalization and the quench. I'm gonna let Shorts Me explain normalizing. First up, we're gonna be normalizing the blade. After forging it into a knife shape, there's a lot of stress in the steel, and normalizing it will reduce that stress, making for a stronger blade. Basically, we're getting the blade up just above critical temperature and then letting it cool slowly in the air. All right, it's time for round two. This time we're shooting for just below critical temperature. I've done this enough times that I can do it by eye based on the color of the steel, but if you don't have that confidence yet, you can use like a thermometer gun or a thermocouple in your forge to regulate the temperature. Any of that works. All right, time to quench. Now we hurry up and wait. The quench gets it nice and hard, but right after this, we're gonna put the blade into the toaster oven, 400 degrees, 2 cycles at 2 hours. Right, that'll soften it up a little bit, bring it back. Unfortunately, we didn't get any clips of that, so that's why I'm telling you now. All right, we're out of the heat treat. The blade is ready to be ground and have a handle on it. But the first order of business is I need to clean up the flat areas where there's still a little bit of forge texture. My goal when I forged this was to have a little bit of a forged finish on the flats around the handle transition, but my forging control just isn't quite there yet, so we're gonna go for a clean finish on this one. Let's go get to work. In order to clean up the flats, I've got the blade attached to a welding magnet that I can then just stick into the belt. This way my fingers aren't in any danger of getting sanded off, which sounds unpleasant, but it's more common than you might think. All right, got my Nordic Edge file guide. We're gonna put it on here and tighten it up to get the shoulders how I want them. I'm going for kind of an angled thing, which makes my life a little bit more difficult on the grinder, but I think it's a cool look, so we're gonna do it anyway. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I've got a Purdue hoodie on in these clips. I did go to Purdue. I went to study engineering. I realized very quickly after I got there that I had no interest in being an engineer. So after 2 years, I dropped out, moved back home, started making knives. Now here we are. I hope one day that I can show people that you can do cool stuff without a degree. So if you're doing cool stuff without a degree, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment down below. So we're most of the way there. Unfortunately, because of the angle and because of the depth of the platen, it's really hard to get that corner. So we're gonna do that by hand with just files. Now it's not exactly glamorous, but this handwork is what really separates the boys from the men. And while I can do the handwork, my tools stink. So if anybody has any recommendations for files, please drop them in the comments, because I need some new files. This file did basically nothing, so I switched to a diamond file, which you're really not supposed to use with the file guide because it can scratch up the carbide faces, but that other file was just not doing anything. Finally, I got it to a point where I'm happy with it, with that diamond file and this one other one. So it's time to unclamp it and then get to work finishing up the grinding.
Oh. 5 minutes later.
Oh yeah, look at that. So there's still a couple of light spots, that's decarb, but I've got enough thickness on the edge that I'll end up grinding through that. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. Come back for part 2. It's going to include all kinds of fun stuff, like choosing the handle material, finishing the blade, almost crashing out. Enjoy. See if we can get this out. No! No! It's not fair!